Alrighty, alrighty. I am up. Oh my goodness, what a day. Okay. Well, actually, yesterday was more of what a day than today, but either way, I am alive and well. Let's see here. Make sure that's working and that's working. That looks normal. Alrighty, let's do this here and then here. Hi, how you doing? How you be? Talk to the AB. Sorry about the little pause there. Okay. Apparently, there are hurricanes in Texas now because that just knocked out my power yesterday. So I do apologize. But as soon as I was getting ready to launch or to go live, my power went out. And yeah, that was kind of weird. I've never seen a hurricane hit Texas. I'm not even near water. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's time for me to bounce out of the state. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good day. Hope everybody had a good day at work. My name is TheOpenForum or Anthony. I basically make videos about troubleshooting issues and technical issues and video games. And essentially, we don't really play games on this channel. We essentially troubleshoot people who have issues with video games because it's what we do. It gives us all the warm and fuzzies, and plus we have a gigantic ego. So so it all kind of feeds itself, you know. But no. We actually we really enjoy helping people as much as possible, and that brings us joy. We want to basically get to a point where we can kind of create a charity so we can, you know, help people build computers, give them away, things of that nature. So we're working towards that. And yeah, so I hope everybody had a good day at work, and let's get going. So there was a bunch of stuff that happened yesterday that I couldn't actually do because once I lost power, I lost all of my tabs. I got most of them back, but yeah. All right. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It is a Souls-like game, and that just recently launched, and I haven't had a chance to take a look at anything. So, of course, we're not about to sit here and watch an entire trailer, but we'll watch the ending and see exactly what they say about it. And then we'll go and see if anybody needs help.
Themselves won't win any awards for how they look, but they're all very well designed from a gameplay perspective. Branching paths that often allow you to find an easier way through a particularly tough area, and tons of easily missable optional detours leading to bountiful rewards keep them from being straightforward paths from point A to point B. Wolong's biggest problem, bigger than the loot issues and the poor storytelling, is its enemy variety. Even though the combat system is excellent and varied, there's simply not enough different types of opponents to fill a game of this size. The ones that are here are fantastic and fun to fight, don't get me wrong, but part of the fun of a Souls-like is encountering a new threat, learning their attack patterns, and finding a way to get through the fight without taking heavy damage. In Wolong, I felt like I figured out everything I needed to know to get through every non-boss encounter by hour 5 of a game that, in total, took me about 22 hours to beat. That took out a lot of the tension and fear of death that these games thrive on. Without the anxiety that something unexpected might be lying in wait around the next corner, Wolong is still a very challenging game, but one that lacks a certain sense of adventure. It's also worth mentioning that Wolong also includes online co-op for up to 3 players, an extensive New Game Plus for those who want to min-max their characters to the extreme, and even has PvP invasions, which you can opt out of if you'd prefer to deal with relatively easy AI invaders. Unfortunately, not enough people were playing ahead of launch for me to test the competitive multiplayer features out for this review, but cooperative play is super easy to set up and play through, just like it's been in prior Team Ninja Souls-likes. You can either recruit random strangers into your game from within a level when you need help, or you can start a level fresh from the beginning with a friend.
Team Ninja made Neo, and Neo is one of the better games that are so...
Wolong Fallen Dynasty's combat plays very differently from Team Ninja's own Neo games, more in the mold of Sekiro than Dark Souls, and yet it manages to excel and falter in just about the same areas. When it comes to the clashing of melee weapons, Wolong is among the best in the genre, full stop. The options for taking down its ferocious enemies are many and immensely rewarding to master, and its deflection-heavy combat is one of the most satisfying since Sekiro. All of those strengths outweigh an overbearing loot system, poor storytelling, and even a disappointing lack of variety in enemies. If not for that, Wolong might have been one of Team Ninja's greatest achievements. As it is, it's simply a great one.
Okay. So I was never a fan of the dodge mechanic. I am much more of a blocker. I am the type that will just sit there with a shield and just pray for the best. If the boss breaks my shield, I mean, hey, I'm just respawning and starting over. That's kind of the way I always did it. So Sekiro, it was kind of one of those games that basically it definitely made you feel like if you were gonna block, you were gonna die at like the very beginning, like the very first mini boss as soon as you get into the game. So a game that's very similar to Sekiro versus being similar to like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, things of that nature is like, I mean, Sekiro is probably one of those only games where I didn't beat every boss. Like the last two boss, the fire demon or whatever, as well as the final boss, I was kind of done. As soon as I beat that lightning guy, I was pretty much done. Like I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore because every boss is like 2.5 hours of training, and I'm just like, man, look, I'm not about to spend 3 days trying to train to beat one boss. Like it's just too much work. So, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good game, and I'm kind of curious about it. I actually kind of want to play it myself, but let's see if anybody needs help. It's kind of what we do here. Let's see. Let's try Windows 11, I believe, is the one that's up on it. Give me 1 second here. Do that. Oh, do that. There we go. Alrighty here and alrighty here. Okay, guess not. Here, let me switch back so I can log in. Steam. And give me 1 second here. Okay, well, while this is taking its sweet time, why is it taking so long? Okay, that's kind of weird. Okay, well, it's already logged in. Okay, make sure everything is popping on here. Okay, yeah, this looks good. Just making sure it's not doing anything crazy. Showing be like showing your birth certificate and stuff. I'll be like, come on, man. Maybe just randomly pop up. Is this your birth certificate? I'll be like, come on, man. Can't you see I'm trying to do a stream here? All right. Okay. Long load times, darn near identical to Neo in every way. Hey, that's not a bad thing. Zhongling, way too hard for first boss. Okay, that's a spoiler. Thanks. I appreciate that. Uh Let's see. Anybody needing help? Turn off tips. No. Negative reviews. Blah blah blah. Oh, FPS drop. Does anyone experience FPS drop on the second village after the prologue? This is really weird because I tried this game on demo before and it doesn't suffer from this massive drop. My specs, he has a Ryzen 5 5600H, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 3060 laptop. Yeah, he said check your CPU usage. If it's random maxing up, you're possibly. I was going to go with the RAM, but yeah, that's a possibility. Prioritizing FPS just to make the game so blurry at 1080p. Okay, well, let's see. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on about this. So I would say the best thing you can probably do while in the area, I would check my CPU usage and memory usage while playing the game. It appears 16 gigs of RAM is kind of pushing it with the titles these days. If you are still having issues, let us know. Okay, we'll go with that. See if there's anything else. I mean, if everybody's just talking about frames and how badly something doesn't work, so sad about the poor keyboard and mouse support. Anyone else having these issues? You rang. Anyone else having these issues? Cutscenes are black, but sound comes through. Okay. Game crashes after character creation. Okay. 1280 by 720 is the only available resolution. Your graphics driver. I've tried updating the resolution in the JSON config file, but that didn't take up. Also validated all files twice. Drivers are all updated. System rebooted, etc., etc. So he has a 6750 XT. I'll try it on my other machines and see if I can get common sense. See if I can find a common issue. Laptop with a Ryzen 6900X RTX 3080. Test to confirm working flawlessly. Yeah, I'll worry a little bit about what driver you went with. But yeah, I think everybody else is probably going to say the same thing. I don't have black cutscenes. Resolution can only be changed in the main menu, not during game. And I tried to change the resolution menu, but I'm unable to do so. I would say I understand that you updated the driver of the GPU. However, video with no sound. I'm sorry, sound with no video. However, sound with no video. And what else did he say? Sound with no video and game crashes and low resolution. Game crashing and low resolution. Resolution is generally a sign of a possible faulty GPU. I would try an earlier GPU version than the one you are currently on. See, in fact, he said he just updated it. Try uninstalling it and installing a slightly earlier version to see if it makes a difference. Okay, so we'll go with that. We'll do one more. Can you transmod? Blah blah blah. My download is 60% done. Just 7 to 8 hours before I can go play. Oh, he's just he's just commenting. He doesn't actually need help. Microphone problem. I like microphone problems. When I start this game, my mic gets really staticky. When I lower my mic hertz, it gets better the lower I go. Okay, so basically its noise gain ratio is like extremely high. I only use my default hertz before now. This is the only game this happens with. The troubleshooter didn't work. Audio drivers are up to date. No conflicts. What gives? Yeah, any solutions? Nothing I heard of. Same problem. Having problems make streaming it not really doable for me. Not sure the cause. Well, okay. What systems is what systems are everyone on? Same issue, same problem, really weird. Any solutions? Okay. Well, okay. They're on Steam, so is it everyone on? I get we are on Steam, but had to ask when it comes to the mics, what? How are they connected? How are they connected? Is it how are they connected? I would try a different USB port to see if it makes a difference, or lowering the mic settings in game. I don't know if there is a mic setting in game, but I would imagine so just from what they've been saying here. Not sure the cause. Only game I've ever played that had this issue. Okay. Yeah. We don't know exactly what system I mean, obviously they're on Steam, so it's a pretty good chance they're talking about PC, but it's always nice to ask just to be on the safe side, because they may be having an issue and then they jump Steam to see if other people are having the same issue. Does that make sense? So it's always best just to make sure that they're talking about the exact same thing that we're talking about. So yeah, we'll do a couple here. So what we just do like three issues. We'll see what they say. I'm not sure if their replies come in mail format, but I'll check it just so we can try to keep up to date on these. But yeah, let's go ahead and head back here. Oh, you guys could barely see that too. Should maximize it next time. Okay, let's head back. Okay, Wolong seems like a pretty good game. I'm kind of excited. All right, so we don't really talk about the Steam Deck all that much. Be like, it's over here collecting dust because it needs an input, and I'm still short a couple. I ended up switching out with a different motherboard just so I can actually have a second input for the Switch and the Steam Deck. So I'll have to do that over the weekend. But because of this, I figured I'd go ahead and read a topic that I recently saw about the Steam Deck. I didn't want it to fall. Steam Deck evolves. Valve's portable gaming PC 1 year later. Thanks to a steady stream of software updates and strong support from game makers, the Steam Deck has become a handheld gaming device worth buying. After everything about the Steam Deck screams first generation hardware, ain't that the truth? It's a little awkward and clunky, sometimes even creaky. The screen has an oversized bezel that makes it feel small within the hulking body. The button layout isn't especially ergonomic, and especially during its initial months, getting games to play on it sometimes required wrestling the system into submission, using updates, tweaks, and hacks to get software running passively. Yeah, Overwatch or Battle.net, just to name a few there. And yet, after my initial review, I came back to this handheld game PC from Valve time and time again. Originally, I said it was the best for serious PC gamers who were used to the trial and error process of getting games to run on different types of computer hardware. Now, after your steady future updates to its SteamOS software, a series of accessories that fill in some of the hardware gaps, and a wide increase out of the box support for major game releases, the Steam Deck is a much different animal. I'd say it's good enough now that even gamers used to the plug and play ease of Nintendo Switch could probably swing it. That's actually a pretty good standing, because I mean, I guess everybody was like, it's good, but then a Neo came out, and basically there's like now 20 different versions of this type of console that all do the same thing with better processing, better graphics, so on and so forth. So it kind of it came out, and then it got completely saturated in the market, and then there was so many issues with it, so I didn't really see a point in playing it. But for people who had Macs at the time, it was really good because you can just take your Mac and then take this guy with you, and it will cover your entire gaming portfolio originally, like except for, like, for example, Lost Ark, because it couldn't install the blocker that Lost Ark had. So a lot of MMOs it had problems with, but most of your regular games it had no problems with, and it can run them relatively okay between 30 and 45 FPS. So you can basically take this guy and take your MacBook and bounce, and you can be able to play whatever games you want to play and still have like a Mac. But at the same time, GeForce Now came out. And so now you can just have GeForce Now on your Mac and get the exact same results. Now you won't have as many games at like new release launch titles as you do on Steam, because Steam is really Steam OS. So, but at the same time, it still is an excellent option if you don't have a Steam Deck. So, there's a lot of competition there to try to get that market, that portable market that is only bound to a Nintendo Switch. So we'll see how it goes. But I figured it's rare that I get a chance to talk about the Steam Deck, so I figured I'd give my opinion, weigh my 2 cents in on the Steam Deck. Alrighty, and the last topic we have here is, well, topic before we started helping more people, is the Destiny 2 Lightfall launch has fans polarized amid negative reviews. I did not hear this. I actually heard all the reviews were actually pretty decent. They liked it. There were other launch updates that were better than this one from what I've heard, but this one is still pretty good. I haven't had a chance to get into it. I actually just downloaded Destiny 2, but I haven't actually played it. The last time I played Destiny 2, yeah, I don't even remember. I know the Hammer had come out, and I think that's it. I think no, I think it was after the Hammer. So yeah, it's been a while. I used to play Titan, and so yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It's been a long. Oh, I know when. Oh, I can't say it though. It's basically when a part of the story happens where a character that you are into dies. That's basically where I left off, and I was like, oh no, power reset, not doing it. So we watched this Launchfall trailer, and there was like a guy here that was kind of crazy.
Your fear brings you pain. We know pain.
Hold on, let me take it back.
What is that?
I like his hair.
The witness.
You have no purpose because you fear to seek one.
This is what you get.
I understand what's at stake, Lightbearer. Not all of us have lives to spare.
Your fear brings you pain. We know pain.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. So that green ore that y'all were seeing around the characters, that's the new class. Well, there's iterations of that class depending on who you are normally with, whether you're a Titan, so on and so forth. And there's different versions of that class, but that's what that green ore is. There's like some of them, they have grenades that are like that you get swords, and you can have like melee attacks, and yeah, it gets kind of crazy. So hey, shout out to Destiny 2. Alrighty. I thought this would be interesting. Which Windows taskbar design has been epic? Well, okay. Okay, when we're talking about epic, I would say the newest one is probably the most epic. When we talk about memorable, I would have to say the Windows XP. Windows XP is probably the most memorable because everybody kind of remembers that whole start logo. Like I don't like it's like etched into my memory from when I was like, like from growing up all the way to like now. Like this right here is like a staple of what I think of when I think of Macs, or I'm sorry, with Windows. When I think of Macs, I think of this guy. When I think of Windows, I think of this guy. I think the closer that Windows came to becoming Mac like, the more they started to lose themselves of what it meant to be Windows. Like this right here was always Windows. From here on, this was Windows. And then they were like, you know what? Let's just all be the same. Maybe we can take some of the market share from Apple if we look just like them. So basically making it as friendly and easy to use as possible so that it can appeal to people who normally buy Macs. To be fair, the button placement that you use for Macs and Windows is relatively similar between Alt and the Windows key. So yeah, I that's what I personally think. I think that XP bar, man. Whenever you see that, man, you know you about to be in for trouble because a blue screen of death from Windows XP is a wipe. There are no continues on that. But yeah, that's my opinion at least. Which Windows taskbar? I wonder what everybody else say. I really like Windows 10 look after you remove 90% of the taskbar buttons and stuff. Yep, my thoughts exactly. Windows 10 is perfect if you can remove that giant search bar. Oh, this right here is Windows 10. Okay, yeah, I guess. I thought Windows 10. I mean, Windows 10 and Windows 11 are very similar, but Windows 11 basically looks like a Mac, and Macs have always had really good toolbars. 7 to 10 is not but clutter. 95, 98, Windows 10, Vista, hands down. Which one was Vista? Oh, this was Vista. Oh yeah. But Vista problem was Vista ate up all your memory. You install that operating system, your memory is gone. Oh, good old Vista. Okay. Is this bad for cooling from Eagle? Xbox Series X. Well, heat rises to the top, so it should be fine here, and then it mixes with cool air before it actually does anything. So yeah, I think you're probably fine. Because as soon as it escapes, it's not actually gonna just hit that and then go back in. It doesn't work that way. It'll actually escape and then mix with the cool air immediately. So yeah, you're probably fine. Going to hot air through the air that it blowing out a box in like this. Well, hot air typically after rising up will immediately mix with cool air. So if the temperature around it is relatively cool, you are probably okay. This is from my mining experience essentially, because so there's two versions of how to heat graphics cards, right? Especially graphics cards that are mining. There is basically the heat that is rising off of the card and mixing with the cool air. There's also the ambient heat, the temperature around the actual graphics card. That guy is a problem. So not only do you have to have fans that blow the heat away from the cards, you also have to have fans that blow it and then cool the air, because what will end up happening is it will immediately turn that temperature in your household. Whatever temperature that those cards are, you're going to be somewhere between that and the temperature of your house. Like if your temperature is supposed to be 73 and those cards are at 90, you're going to be around 80 something, depending on how many cards you have. Like if I had like maybe 30 or 40 in my home, and it made my whole house warm. So it really kind of depends on what you're going with, but you always got to get that heat away from the graphics card, because that ambient heat is what really hurts it. But yeah, I've had situations like originally I used to basically put fans above them just so it could pull the air, the heat out, and then escape it out the top. I used to do that, but that's a horrible idea, because even though you're doing that and it's trying to pull it, the heat around the card is still there. It's just that it's allowing some of the heat to escape, but it's not dealing with the situation of the card's ambient heat around it is hot. So those cards will still be hot, even though I'm trying to blow heat out of it, it'll still be hot. So I've run into those kind of situations as well. So yeah, it really kind of depends on how you have your setup. But yeah, heat is kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, with heat, typically heat's probably okay because you have the fan that's blowing this way, right? And then if this whole area is really, really cool, then you should be fine. It should be okay. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, I would probably put it above, but I mean, it'll probably be all right. Alrighty, group one, let's do this. It's been so long. I'm so ready. Salty Toxic Ninja writes. Xbox Series X keeps reinstalling. Let's see here. Let's just make sure. Oh no, it's only 2 comments, so we're good. I'm just making sure that nobody else has replied, so I don't be like behind whenever I apply. I installed Fortnite for the new chapter, realized it's still bad, and uninstalled it. I remember this. At least that's what I thought, but now every time I turn on my Xbox, it's magically there again. Okay, I said, so for this one, could you try to go back to the storage and uninstall a different game to see if that gets removed as well? Also, when you reload the Xbox and saw that it wasn't still there, were you actually able to play the game after the uninstall was clicked, I mean? So I couldn't play the game, and I am able to uninstall other games. Okay. Okay, so it appears the game did uninstall. It's just corrupted and displaying the game like it's there. To fix, download the game again, then uninstall it. Install it again. This should get it working. Should get it removed for good. Let us know if that works. There we go. So yeah, that's what I would do for that one. Xbox. So is this Xbox? Yeah, Xbox. So yeah, if you have a corrupted file or a corrupted game and you're talking about an Xbox, like a console, the best thing you can do is just re-download it. You re-download, it's going to go to the exact same location and then uninstall, and it should be able to take care of it and get rid of everything. So that's what I would try for this one here to see if that fixes the issue. Speaking of Xbox, let me try and make sure it works. Hey, look at you. Don't even need to check on you. You already starts to work, or already start to work. Okay, Pop 3, and it's long. Okay. Oh, fun fact, I'm at 128 gigs of RAM. I'm so excited. I finally got all my RAM taken care of and up to date. That was driving me crazy, trying to get my RAM to work and messing up on me and tiling during a stream. That was awful. But now it's good to go. So now it's a whole lot better. So yeah, and it's all pretty and stuff. I'll show it in another video probably on Monday. I have internet, but stuff not loading and isn't loading correctly. The past few hours, I've been struggling to figure out what's going on with my internet connection to the computer via Ethernet cable. Okay. The worst scenario I've had was Chrome not loading most of the sites, showing DNS messages, then switching to no internet, but YouTube loading videos and thumbnails, but video not starting, or Reddit loading up with the post, but forever buffering on the videos, never starting. Even my Malwarebytes was failing to connect to its own server, DNS. I've turned off Windows Firewall to see if that's the problem, but I was still having the same issue. Steam was downloading at 20 megabits per second instead of 100 at the beginning of this issue before any of the things I described above. Restarted the PC, fixed the Steam issue, and was able to load some of the other sites for a few minutes and back to the same issue again. I contacted the internet service provider and they checked that everything is fine on their end and that the connection to my home and internet is fine, but now it's on and off. It feels extremely weird as to why it's happening when I have internet just fine on my phone, tablet, or at least I think it's fine. Okay, well, one, those devices are wireless and you're wired. Might have gotten lucky with the timing. Okay, well, do you own your router? Do you own your router? Or does it belong to the ISP? 2, sounds like you have a DNS issue. Next time it happens, I would no, that's not next time. I um two, two sounds like you have a DNS issue. The best way to go about it would be to reboot your router to see if it makes a difference. Okay, finally, if that does not fix the issue, go to start. We'll just do the whole thing. Start, control panel, network, and internet. Is it still called Network and Sharing Center? I keep changing things on me. Right here. I'm pretty sure it is. Start control panel. Oops, sorry. Control. Network and Internet. Network and Sharing Center. Yeah. And then change it after setting. Yeah, just making sure. All right. So Network and Internet. Network and Sharing Center. Sharing Center. Change adapter settings. Finally, if that does not fix the issue, go to Start, Control Panel, Network and Internet, Network and Sharing Center, change adapter settings, and then, oops, sorry, then click, oh, I cannot type, click, wow, okay, Anthony, let's learn how to type, click on, right click on the wired connection. I should really just have this already written. Right, on the wired connection, go to properties, then TCP IPv4, and hit, I don't remember, and go do that to that to that to that to that properties. The word you're looking for is properties. And Reddit. Hit properties. Change the DNS to 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4 to see. Oh my God, Anthony. I'm sorry. I am rusty, apparently. It's only been one day, but apparently I am super rusty. Change the DNS to 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4 and save it. There we go. Okay. We're copying it this time. I'm not typing that stuff again. Because if somebody else has that issue, I'd be darned if I type that. That is way too much information to be typing like that. It just slows down the channel or slows down the stream. So I'll just make sure I have this, like things like this, as well as the vid viewer, like your usual typical stuff. I'll make sure I have those in like a notepad, something, so I can just copy paste them. Okay, so yeah, pops, that's what I would do here. Basically, it sounds like you have a DNS issue, so to troubleshoot that, you would just essentially reboot the router, as well as changing your DNS from whatever it is to 8.8.8.8 and see if that fixes your issue. Okay, this is from a person who does not like vowels. Person who does not like vowels writes, my portable PC in Pelican 1510 with showcase video. Okay, to be fair, every portable PC can fit in a Pelican 1510. There are no exceptions, unless you're talking about like a O11D Mini Air or O11D Mini. Outside of that, every other case can fit inside of a 1510. Now, how pretty it is a little different. So it looks like he has this monitor in one side, and then he has, it looks like an NR200 in the other. Still really sweet. Oh, he had a whole YouTube video? Oh my goodness. The fact that I read this and thought of Death Stranding and thinking, why did I think that? Oh, well, I went back to the picture and read Bridges and went, oh. It's a strand type game. It really fits well. What is the total weight? Does he even show the specs? I'm not about to click on the YouTube video, bro. Main components. Razer Death Adder, V3 Pro, Wi-Fi, small camera rig, computer stuff, and what's the chassis though? 17-inch portable monitor, 3080, 57. ROG Azoth Razer ROG Azoth. I'm not sure what that is, but still pretty dope build, bro. Congratulations. Sweet. I don't even have anything funny to say. Just you do you. It is a luggage. That it is most definitely a luggage. Of all the luggages, it's definitely one of them. All right, so this was the OBS camera. I remember this. So my OBS camera don't work. The only thing I see is OBS logo when I turn it on Discord. And then he said, what do you mean by OBS camera? Is this your phone connecting to an OBS app that you are referring to? But for the issue itself, typically means that you're having issues with connectivity or resolution. I'm not sure what camera it is, but when I open it, it shows a logo and not my face. What? Well, if you don't know what camera it is, then what are we supposed to do? I'm not sure what camera it is. Okay, do you have a camera? If it's not showing an input, then let me know the one, camera, make and model, two, capture card, make and model, computer, make and model, LOL. Then we can assist in the steps you would need to take to get this going. Also, most capture cards have their own software. I would say, well, it would be best to download that guide to see if it fixes the issue. All right, so we'll go with that. So, just give them some options here. But we can't do much without the camera making model, the capture card making model, and the computer making model. Like, how would we know? Like, is he plugging into a PCIe slot, or is it USB? Is it USB 2 or is it USB 3? If it's USB 3, does he have it into a USB 2? Is it a USB 3 with a dongle, and maybe the issues with the dongle? In other words, they have a female to male USB because like, for example, the cam links. Normally I'd have a million next to me, but apparently I don't. The cam links are kind of big, and they don't necessarily fit in the USB slots and have things around them. So you actually can have an extender so that it can hang off the computer instead of I can show you instead of saying it. That would be so much easier. Camlink 4K. So you see this guy, it's too big to actually fit. Well, it's not necessarily too big, but whenever it's going directly into a slot, it's kind of hard to put anything else near it or above it because of how big it is. So you can actually have a female to USB 3 header in order to extend it so that it's not actually interfering with other USB ports. However, it depends on what we're talking about. If this is the guy that we're talking about, then we can troubleshoot this guy. But I don't know. Every single Camlink device is different. Like, some of them are PCIe, some of them are USB, some of them are USB 3s. It really just depends. It depends on what camera he has. He may have a camera that doesn't allow for him to do that, or at least doesn't allow him to do it at 4K, and maybe he has a 1080p cam link. I mean, there's a million different ways to go about it, so we just need more information before we can proceed. It literally changes everything when it comes to that issue. Okay, so the Prongle, we need more information, bro. Alrighty. So this is from Ghost Saiyan. He was talking about, oh yeah, this is the guy who says shadow play causing all issues in 3 to 5 minutes and crashing. So whenever he runs DX12, it doesn't matter which DX12 game it is. We ended up having him test Tomb Raider because we had Tomb Raider, so we figured it would be a little bit easier. All right, turn this fan on. And for this one, he was like, looks like we've been talking back and forth on this one here. Okay, multiple people have already started talking. And we basically said, okay, yeah, so seems like you may have made some headway with the RAM test, but I got a few ideas. We are not waving the white flag yet. What happens if, while playing the game, the GeForce experience off, you then turn it on? Does the game crash 5 minutes thereafter? In other words, in GeForce experience, which is GeForce experience, GeForce experience. So whenever GeForce experience is up, you can basically close this application so GeForce Experience isn't running in the background, and then open this application while playing a game. What happens if you do that? Does it fix the issue? That's what I was referring to there. And then I said, two, what about OBS? Of all the recording software, it's probably the least impactful to your system. Try to do a recording with OBS and see if it crashes as well. So he said, so I did some tests. For some reason, sometimes it made it through the 5 minutes mark, and sometimes it didn't. There was no rhyme or reason as to why it would work and why it wouldn't work. I guess that's progress. Good question. So I started the game with it off and turned it on and got the crash. So unfortunately, that isn't the solution. I have downloaded OBS before, but never really liked it because it doesn't have the feature. What feature? I like which it constantly records but doesn't actually save anything unless you press a button that records the last X amount of minutes, like Shadow Plays instant capture. But I'll go ahead and try it at some point. But for the sake of sanity, I don't think I'm going to mess with it for a while. If I do anything, I believe the next thing I'm trying is Windows 10 again. All right, well, we gave you suggestions, but if you don't even want to try that, I mean, what am I supposed to do? He was like whenever he's like veering right and he's staying right. So okay, have fun. Is anybody else commenting? No, that's just us. Okay, well, okay, bro. Well, well, you do you. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Well, you do you. If you have questions, feel free to reply. There's nothing to say. He's not willing to make those changes, and he's not willing to install OBS to see if OBS does anything. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see. If he has any questions, then we'll be there. But if he's gonna install Windows 10, then let him go ahead and install Windows 10. I don't think there's anything that either me nor you can say to stop his mind. So whatever. Install Windows 10, bro. We'll check back on next week. I would never tell a person to basically who's on Windows 11 to install Windows 10. By the way, it's not ideal because you can introduce more problems than you can save. This is from Shinkari, Shikari, whatever. Wireless Bluetooth earbuds issue, and this is a new issue. Cool. My new earbuds are working fine with my Android phone, but not with my Windows 10 PC. Not sure if it's connection issue or a quality issue. They do connect and appear on the list, but when I play a YouTube video, it either does not give any sound or only from one ear, or it has a weird white noise sound to it, sometimes for 5 seconds or so. Both earbuds do sound correctly. I've tried a couple of things, namely switching off hands-free option and installing the newest motherboard Bluetooth drivers from manufacturers' websites, but for now, nothing does it. Restarting the PC multiple times and removing the device from Bluetooth list and paired it again, and still nothing. Any clue what this could be? I have tried my earbuds at my friend's house and they worked, but his version is of Windows 11, so I don't know if we can take that result into account. If you know of any fix I could try, please let me know. Sure. Of course we know fixes. Sure. Well, what happens if you headset doesn't work on the PC, but it does on everything else? What happens if you any clue what this can be? I've tried my earbuds at my friend's house and it worked. Restarting multiple times did not fix it. Fine with my Android phone, but not with the Windows 10 PC. They do connect and appear on the list, but when I play a YouTube video, it either does not give any sound or only one from. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Sure. Well, what happens if you disable Bluetooth on your phone? This is the other device it is paired with, correct? Paired with, correct? Does that smell like something was burning? I was okay. I think it's food. Okay. Because I'm like, I'm not cooking. So I started to get nervous. I was like, there was a fire nearby. So I was like, is that burnt wood that I smell? Just making sure. Sure. Well, what happens if you disable Bluetooth on your phone? This is the other device. It is paired with, correct? Does that allow it to work properly? Also, check to see if there is a firmware update for the headset, either from an app on your phone or from the PC downloads itself or from driver downloads for the earbuds themselves. Depending on the earbuds, they do have software that you can download that allows you to change things like ambient, adaptive noise canceling, so on and so forth. So, unless, of course, we're talking about an Apple product, then it changes a little bit because it's on a Windows PC. But going back to the other part of it, with the other device, is it paired with the phone and turning off Bluetooth? Typically, whenever you run into that, it means it's usually trying to pair more than one device, and it can cause problems. And so, just to make sure that that's not what's happening, go ahead and disable your phone's Bluetooth temporarily, and then try to see if that makes a difference. Or from driver downloads for the earbuds themselves. Oh yeah, we also need to know what kind of earbuds. We're just sitting here guessing. also, what kind of earbuds are you referring to? Because that would help. Because I'm sitting here giving you options, but you know, some earbuds may not have software, and we can look those up if we know what he was talking about. So yeah, just from a general standpoint, that's how we would go about it. But we'll see what happens with him. He'll probably reply to us on Monday or over the weekend. We'll see what happens. I mean, because it was just an hour ago. Alrighty, this is from Key Blue J 2000. Computer keeps shutting down, unable to log in due to program glitching. Program, okay. I'm at the moment, I'm completely unable to log into my computer. I sometimes use a program called Cold Turkey, which is a website app blocker to reduce distractions. In the app, there is also an option to shut down your computer for a period of time, so it will shut itself down anytime you try to log in. Last week, I set that option to like 3 or 4 days to help me study. Unfortunately, it seems the program has glitched, and now a week later, it's still shutting down my computer. I can't log in and uninstall it. I can't open a new account. I'm basically stuck. I contacted the developer, and he said the only way around a block is to fully reset my computer, which is definitely not ideal. I haven't had a chance to back it up. I'm really not great with computers, so if anyone has any advice or tricks I might be able to use, I'd be super grateful. Incognito mode is the first thing that came to mind, but that doesn't necessarily fix your issue. It just gives you a workaround. At the moment, I'm completely unable to log into my. I'm sorry. He can't log into his computer. A program called Cold Turkey, which is a website app blocker to reduce distraction. Okay. Okay. What you would do for this one would be to restart in safe mode, then uninstall the program that way. Reboot PC into safe mode guide. Copy link that way. Then uninstall the program that way. Let me know if that works for you. So yeah, that's what I would do for this one here. Typically when you're dealing with, some type of a software that's causing an issue and you can't log in because of it, the only way you can get around that is to log in via safe mode. Now, hopefully you have the local account, but if you don't have the local account, yeah, you're going to be in a world of hurt. But if you do have the local account, just log in locally and with Windows safe mode and see if you can uninstall the program that way. Alrighty, Key Blue Jay, keep us posted. Ooh, Velka 3. Upgraded the Velka 3 land rig. Love how quiet it is. You know what? That's not bad. I like it. I like how it. Well, what's up with the cover though? It looks like it may be preventing some airflow. Well, I guess it's not really because this is pushing down, right? So it's pushing onto the power phase modules. So I mean, it looks good, but it's kind of weird on the side. But I mean, congrats. Oh, okay, here we go. The specs: 30cc tie, Arrow, Velka 3, 600-watt modular flex. And okay, to be fair, a part of me wants to go ahead and go for a Velka 3 just because of how small it is and the fact that you can have a RTX 3060 and still be able to put that in my backpack because of how small it is. So a part of me does want to go for it. It's just that I already have a 3090, so you already went down on this train. So I don't know if I'm actually going to derail right now. We're already on the train. It's like it's like all or nothing at this point. But the other Velka cases are actually really nice too. But the Velka 3 is really sweet, but it's really small. So if we look at the Velka 3 here, here we go. Yeah, there was a picture next to a banana. There we go. That's the Velka 3. It is ultra, ultra, ultra tiny, but it is really, really nice for what you get. And plus, it can fit a 3060 or just basically any of those one slot. Well, not necessarily any, but those one slot cards are really good on this guy. Alrighty, did I reply? I feel like I should. It would only be positivity, and I think everybody else kind of already hit the nail on the head. For the motherboard and fan ramps, pure sexiness, I love it. Alrighty, so this is from PlayStation. It's just gaming with Astra. Astra, isn't that the name of the default game that you have on PS5? Pretty sure it is. Hey guys, what's up, homie? So I was trying to connect my PS4 controller on PC to play some FIFA. But when I connected it, after like 2 seconds, it gives the connected device sound. Y'all know what it is. Then it shows the message that Windows didn't recognize the device and it malfunctioned. I remember this. And I said, so there are a couple people talking then. So you are plugging a PS4 controller into your PC via USB or a wireless controller. If it's USB, try to plug it into the back of the case in a USB 3 slot, blue or red, and vice versa. If it's in the back, try front. If it is Wi-Fi, then try to make sure your Wi-Fi antenna is near the controller. Remove the device from the Bluetooth screen, then re-add it. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, it's wired and have tried multiple ports, still not working. It gives the connected device sound, y'all know. Oh, okay. The sound, what are you talking about connected device? He's talking about when you plug a device in the computer and it lets you know that you plugged in a new device into the computer. There is an option when you have a controller plugged in. Do I have controllers plugged in on those other ones? I don't think so. So here, let me just do it on this one here real quick. Control panel. Like it's like game device or something. It literally says it. Let me turn on. Oh, it already is on. Gaming. No. All right, device manager then. That's where I plans on going anyway. Alrighty, so let me just make sure I know what it was. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't Xbox peripherals. Okay, so yeah, generally it'll show up in device manager. So for this one, generally the controller will show up in device manager. Just do a search for just do a search for it on the start menu. If it is not here when plugging it into the PC, then the PC is unable to, then it may be a controller or USB cable issue. Thus, swap the cable to see if it makes a difference. See if it makes a difference. All right. So yeah, that's what I would do for that one. You know, if you're having issues with the controller and plugging it into the actual computer, typically when you plug in controllers, it will tell you that you plugged in a controller. It'll be an option or a peripheral, something like that. It'll actually show it for you. Now, you know, if it's not showing it, then that typically means that you're having an issue with that particular controller going into one of your USB ports. So at that point, you know, it could be a controller issue, it can be a cable issue. Either way, you know, it's starting to look more hardware related than software related at that point. So yeah, that's what I would go with that one, but keep us posted. Okay, gaming with Astra. See you next week. Alrighty, so this is from Mini Minute. Mini Min. My screen flash is just an edge. Is my GPU failing or is it an edge issue? Well, the problem is you're on an internet edge. Nobody does that. All right, Ryzen 5 7600. U12, nice. Okay, he has a Metrify. Okay. And a 6950 XT. Nice. My screen flickers at times is more of a flashing bang effect. Bang? So to speak than screen flickering, since that's apparently something else entirely. Is this normal? It usually happens when I open a new tab on Edge, especially a YouTube tab, but it rarely happens randomly for no reason. In Edge, it seems only happens on Edge and not in games or elsewhere. Is this Edge problem or is it something wrong with my GPU? Well, I got a million. Well, not I. We got a million questions. One, why are you using Edge? Says the person who literally has Internet Edge in incognito mode. That's just me being goofy. Two, what happens when you right click and open Edge in, I think it's called in private. In private, yeah. Open Edge in private mode. Does the flickering stop then? What happens if you try a different browser? Does it make a difference? And then four, what was I gonna say? What happens if you try a new browser? Does it make a difference? What happens when you right click and try in private mode? Does the flickering stop then? Oh, could you do a recording on the issue you are referring to. Okay. So yeah, we just need to see it because I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, but even without seeing it, we can still kind of point you in the right direction. Because if you're only having the issue with Edge, what happens if it's in private mode? If it's in private mode, then there's a possibility that the issue is going to be with your ads, your add-ons on the actual browser itself, because that's what you remove whenever you turned it into incognito mode or in private mode. And then also, if you try a different browser, what happens? Like maybe it's just an issue with restrictions on Internet Edge, and you have Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Safari. Go ahead and try one of those guys and see if it makes a difference. Now, if it's giving you the same issue across the board, then we can look at graphics card. Okay, part list. Okay, yeah, that was cool, but whatever. We didn't need it. We didn't need the part list anyway. But I appreciate you go ahead and put it on there. That's one less question we had to ask. So guns blazing in style writes, my Xbox no worky. So about 6 months ago, my uncle gave me an Xbox One S. I haven't used it until today because it wasn't working and we needed to update it manually. So after I did that, I signed in and downloaded Risk. I tried to open it and it just showed the screen when you first click on it. Then after a minute, it goes back to the home screen. I tried restarting it and I tried all other troubleshooting things. What things are we referring to? Who you calling a thing? Anyone got any solutions? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds like the download is corrupted or not complete. I would uninstall the game, then reinstall to see if it makes a difference. Keep us posted. I tried uninstalling. Issue continue with every other app, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. It also runs quite slow at times, taking up to 30 seconds to register me selecting something. The Xbox also isn't brand new, rather it's been pre-owned and had some work done. Okay. Okay. Well, then you can try to wipe the drive to see if that makes a difference and reinstall the Xbox firmware on the device. Okay, well then you can try to wipe the drive to see if that makes a difference and reinstall the Xbox firmware on the device. Do we need to tell them how to do that? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. How to wipe Xbox One. Oh, well, we already know. It's system and then reset. But I don't like going there because every time you go there, it shows your birth date, it shows your box's ID, it shows your manufacturer ID, it shows your cousin's phone number, Pookie. Like it shows so much stuff. It's really annoying. Which one were we on? This one? No, this one. Okay, well then you can try to wipe the drive to see if that makes a difference and reinstall the Xbox firmware on the device. Let us know how it goes. That's the only real thing you can do in these kind of situations, but we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so guns blazing. Keep us posted. Okay, Wi-Fi network issue. Hi all, had a question about Wi-Fi issues. Making sure it's something out of my control. Both my PS3 and PS4 can no longer locate my school's SSID. Oh, we talked about this. There's absolutely nothing you can do if they can't locate your SSID unless you have a USB dongle that they're compatible with. Probably not, as you don't have control of the Wi-Fi, but let me ask you this. Can your cell phone connect to the Wi-Fi from the same location your PS3 and PS4 is trying to connect? If so, then yeah, they may have updated the network, and due to this, the consoles do not see it. In other words, the authentication or the encryption may have changed. Yep, both my phone and laptop connect to Wi-Fi just fine. That's a shame. Yeah. I would try to see if there is a USB dongle that provides better Wi-Fi, but I wasn't able to find something when checking yesterday. So yeah, I would just throw it out there. That way he knows it's a possibility. But I'm the type of person now. I would at least get a USB dongle and find out for myself. If you know that something's going on with the Wi-Fi, I would just try a USB dongle just to see if it makes a difference, and then kind of go from there. But King, keep us posted there. It's kind of, you're kind of between a rock and a hard spot on that one here. Especially seeing if back your phone or your laptop are fine, and you don't have access to their SSID. You don't have access to anything. You're just trying to connect via your laptop. So yeah. Dan A4H20 RTX 4080. Anyone else use it vertically? That's actually really clean. It actually turns it into a I would grab this, but there's metal here, and I don't want to break the glass. But there we go. It turns it into this guy. The this is the Meshalicious, but it turns it into. There's another one that's like this. It's called the iBuyPower NZXT H1. Oh, sorry, H1 I think is what it's called, or B1 or H1 or something like that. NZXT. Oops, sorry. Pressing 80 buttons. H1. Or was it iBuyPower? Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, H1. I got it right. What do I think of iBuyPower? Power H1. Images. Make sure I'm not going crazy. Okay, yeah, I guess I am. It's the NZXT H1. Yeah, this. Whoa. Hold on. Let me make sure. No, this isn't it. It's nice, but that's not it. That's not what I'm thinking about. I guess it is iBuyPower. iBuyPower ITX case. Images. Yeah, this Height Revolt. Why would I say NZXT H1? It looks like the H1, but I was thinking about the Height Revolt. Because I've had this guy here. It's a very interesting case, but it can't fit the 4090, unfortunately. It'd be nice if it did, but yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of that Revolt. It's like a Revolt that ate a sandwich. That's not even funny. It's like Revolt's bigger brother. There we go. It's like the what's it called? I already forgot the name. Let's see. Height Revolt. There we go. It's like a Height Revolt's bigger brother. Oh, let me put nice on it. That way he knows that I'm not trying to be offensive. Gotta make sure. Gotta make sure we don't want to ruffle any feathers. Gotta put nice on it. That way you know I'm being nice. How are the temps with the Dashflow 240? I'm waiting on this because EK doesn't make the 240 basic anymore. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. That's a full liquid cool build. Well, I guess I thought it was a full liquid cool build, but it's only for this right here. Still pretty sweet. This is a Dan Case A4H2O. So yeah, it can fit a 3090. It can fit a lot. Well, it just can't fit, the 4000 series, but it can fit a lot of the 30,000 series or 3000 series. So dope build, bro. Congratulations. Oh, I remember this. So this is the Samsung Gear S2 one. Oh, he deleted his post. Okay, just try it and it's doing the same thing. Well, I mean, you can't troubleshoot if you delete your post. So it is what it is on that one. And this one here, internet randomly cuts out. I think it's getting worse. And nobody replied. I hit so on. Internet can cut out anywhere from 5 minutes after it just happened to 8 hours. I don't know what's causing it, but sometimes troubleshooting fixes it completely. Like, what troubleshooting did you do, bro? However, it doesn't restarting always fixes it. Okay. I've tried all the common stuff and don't really know what to do. Any help? Sure, but what is all this common stuff and what is all this troubleshooting that you did? Well, what have you tried? Sounds like you may have some connectivity issues. I would read. You should reboot. Try to reboot the router to see if it makes a difference next time you come across the issue. We don't want to. If this is the fix, we don't want him to just do it and then fix it and then everything is fine, because then we won't have any closure. So we're just going to ask him to try to reboot it and see if it makes a difference, but only do it the next time you come across the issue. That way the issue can still happen again. That way we can get more data. Because as of right now, we know absolutely nothing. We don't know what he troubleshot. We don't know what common stuff he did. We don't know anything. Well, what have you tried? Sounds like you may have some connectivity issues. Try to reboot the router to see if it makes a difference next time you come across the issue. Also, how are you connected? Wired or wireless? There we go. So yeah, just try to get a good idea of how we set up here, and we can kind of go from there. Let's see here. Make sure that's cool. All right. So hockey, hockey. I like it. Keep us posted. Call him Wayne Gretzky. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next group here. So yeah, we're doing pretty good on time. We're gonna stop a little bit earlier because it's Friday. We tend to do that from Fridays, but yeah. But these are all of the repeats from yesterday, plus some more from today. Low FPS and stuttering. Barracuda Repulsive 99. Need help with low FPS and stuttering on Warzone 2. We talked about this. This was Folded Meat's issue. Well, something along those lines. Okay, so for this one, normally we would just troubleshoot GPU and drivers, but due to recent issues we have seen, let's try this at first. So basically, I've seen issues with memory is where I got this information from, and running memtest. XMP is already removed. Which Cinebench download version would be best? I did Cinebench 30 minutes and scored 8128. Well, the fact that you did Cinebench 30 minutes is a good sign. The fact that you did Cinebench for 30 minutes and the device did not crash is a good sign. Well, how much RAM did he have? He has a 3070 with 8 gigs, and then he has the Ryzen 5 3600 X6 570E, and then he has 32 gigs of 3200 megahertz RAM. And he doesn't have an XMP profile turned on, which is interesting. So, but yeah, he's still getting, okay, well, 70 to 100 isn't bad. Oh, let me ask him this. So, do you get the frame drops without even entering the game? Like, do you see frame drops in the main menu? We ran into this, right? We had a situation where even in the main menu he was getting frame drops. So we just want to make sure that he's having a similar issue. Also, I would try to update the driver of your 3070 to see if it makes a difference. Okay, so we go with that. His memory seems okay. He has no XMP profile, so we'll just continue on. X570E, 32 gigs of RAM, 70 to 100 is actually pretty good for 3070. You know, depending on what resolution he's gaming at. Oh, yeah, we gotta ask him that. Also, we'll try to update the driver of your 3070 to see if it makes a difference. And what? Wow, wheat. And what was I gonna ask him? What was I gonna ask him? Oh, mine just went blank. What? 3070. So try to update 3070, see if it makes a difference. And what? Oh crap! What was I gonna say? 3600 X570E AM4 motherboard. Of course, the Avengers 3200. My FPS is 72100. Oh, what resolution? And what resolution are you gaming at? There we go. Wow. Wow, Anthony. It's most definitely Friday because you are certainly feeling the pain. Alrighty, Barracuda, keep us posted there. Sorry that took so long. Looks like he was waiting on us too. Dang, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I lost power. Lag and latency when 30 to 40 feet away from Modern Warfare 2. We talked about this. This guy's issue is cray cray. So, well, it's not necessarily cray cray. It's pretty Wi-Fi specific because when he's hooked up, when he's directly near the router and not directly connected, he's just near it. Whenever he's near it, he has 100% Wi-Fi connectivity and his internet, everything is fine. However, when he steps away and he goes about 30 to 40 feet away, that's when he sees the degradation of Wi-Fi connectivity. So we said, so that typically means that you may have some interference. Are you on a 2.4 or 5 and so on and so forth? And then he said, yeah, it's just Modern Warfare 2. Other games I tried are fine. I tried 2.4 and 5 gig and Google DNS, no fix. Don't have access to a Xfinity account password, but do have the modem SSID and password. Also don't want to run long cables. Well, Ethernet over power may be the winner here, so I would just Google that. That should give you a far stronger signal than what you are currently dealing with. Be sure they are on the same circuit. So essentially, we already figured out that the issue is going to have to be Wi-Fi connectivity. So he's just trying to figure out some alternatives, and we suggested Ethernet over power. Is there a way I can use an extender LAN cable? Extender. Is there a way I can use an extender LAN cable it to my PS5 in my room? Then it could pick the signal from the modem. Extender LAN cable. Check DM. That's possible. Check DM. Sorry. There was a literal hurricane in Texas yesterday. Don't ask me why. LOL. We don't even live near water. but for this year, what was this question? Um so you can use a Wi-Fi extender. It's just that I don't know the extent of interference in your home. So, plus an Ethernet over power adapter is the same price as an extender. I would just get the adapter and call it a day. Basically, with the Ethernet over power adapter, okay, don't do that. He don't know what it is. Over power adapter, you plug one end into one of the adapters. You plug an Ethernet from the router into adapter 1, then plug adapter 2 in an outlet closest to your PC and run an Ethernet cable to your computer. That should get everything up and running positively. Yeah, I'll go with that. So, there's no point in arguing whether or not you can try a Wi-Fi extender. A Wi-Fi extender and an Ethernet or power adapter are the same price. And I don't want you to try to hook up an extender and you maybe, because here's the thing with extenders. You have to actually use the extender within the range of where your signal is actually 100%, and trying to teach somebody how to do that where he doesn't know where the fall off is kind of hard to do. He may put it in a room where it's already a weak signal, so it's trying to boost the signal of a weak signal, therefore he still may have a problem. We can get rid of the problem altogether if he goes Ethernet over power adapter. So I would rather him go Ethernet over power adapter and call it a day. So yeah, Fuego, that's what I would say here. He said he messaged me. Yeah, he did. Have you tried Media Bridge? Media Bridge? Media Bridge? No, don't do that. Wi-Fi range extender is what he's talking about. No, don't do that. I replied. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Never mind. Except, have you tried Media Bridge? Sorry. Had a hurricane that killed my power yesterday. I replied to your post. We run a live stream weekdays from 7 to 10 p.m. CST on my channel, on my YouTube channel, The Open Forum. If you are still having an issue, you can reach us there or just join the stream or reply. We'll be back on Monday. There we go. So just let them know, we'll be come back to it on Monday. I just don't want him to get the idea that, we're flakers, because we're not flakers. I can't do anything about not having power. So just got to let him know. All right, Barracuda, keep us posted. Why do I feel like we already worked this issue? lag latency 30 to 40 feet away. I feel like we did. Fuego, yeah, we just worked Fuego. Okay, that was Barracuda, that was Fuego. Okay. RTX 4000 series by Zotac PC build. Okay, let's see what you say. How to record a phone in landscape. Not you okay? Don't you be hating when people be doing that? Where they like it'll be like just the craziest thing, be drama, a fight break out, somebody shooting somebody, something crazy is going on, and then they film it in portrait. It's like, come on, man, I can't even see what's going on the right hand side because you'd have filmed the whole thing in portrait. You know, I mean, at least he has a steady hand. It's not that shaky kid. like you know, it'd be like shaking and you can't even see what's going on, and then they want to upload it like it's something to look at. Like all it is shaky footage. Like that found footage shaky stuff is old school. Like that's played out. Nobody does that anymore. Okay, they also played out is also played out. So let me stop talking like I'm young. Obviously, I am not. Okay, that's a nice looking cable. Of all the cables, that is definitely one of them. Your fans are pretty. Okay, got that. And Zotac. Okay. Okay. All right. Gonna need gonna need you to rotate the phone 90 degrees, champ. 90 degrees, good sir. But congrats either way. Congrats either way. But congrats either way. Gonna need you to rotate the phone 90 degrees, good sir. But congrats either way. Yeah, there's no way. No, I can't even see anything. All I see is holes and cables. Congrats, I guess. What are we supposed to do with that? Oh, back to the LGC2. All right, so LGC2 monitor issues. Basically, when plugging into an Xbox, there's a problem, and we started talking about the shutdown versus power save modes, and we told them to go with the power save mode versus the shutdown mode because the shutdown mode uses less power, so on and so forth. And we were going back and forth about it, and he makes really, really long data. So let's see. Question: do you have the Xbox into the ARC HDMI input? Oh, I remember this. We looked this up. So it appears that the LG C2 has problems whenever you have it going into the ARC input, which is HDMI 2. If you have it going into HDMI 1, 3, or 4, it's okay. What happens if you move it to a different one, literally any one other than 2? What happens if you try a different monitor slash TV? Does the issue persist? And yes, it sounds like the inputs are going to sleep on one side or the other, thus causing it to reset for some reason. I would say try other inputs outside of the one you're currently using. Let the default settings of the TV take effect and see what happens. Also, since you will lose less, you can try to set the LGC2 back to factory settings to see if it will make a difference, as opposed to setting your Xbox to factory settings. No, it's been in HDMI 1 this whole time, which by the looks of it isn't an ARC input. Correct. HDMI 2 is its ARC. My soundbar is in the ARC input. Maybe I should try switching them. By the way, I'm not actually using ARC for my audio, if that matters. Okay. What happens if you try a different monitor? I actually don't have another TV to try, and connecting the Xbox to my PC monitor would be a huge hassle. Uh, chances are, though, the issue would not persist because, as far as I'm aware, it is specifically the Xbox being used on the LG OLEDs, or at least primarily with them. Yeah, that's what everybody else has been saying. I could try as a last resort, but honestly, I doubt that would help anything. The issue is primarily on the Xbox's end. It really doesn't like OLEDs, especially LG. Now, I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but currently things are fine. All the settings I want are enabled, and last few times I turned on the Xbox, it was in the proper resolution and everything. I just have to be sure to turn the Xbox on first, then the TV, as I was told that this helps mitigate the problem from happening. Sure, it isn't actually fixed, but it feels so sensitive that once I get it all working, I'm scared to touch it, you know? Oh, we know. Oh, we know. You would not be the first person with a band-aid. That's for sure. LOL. You wouldn't be the first person with a band-aid. How do you spell band? Okay. That's for sure. LOL. Yeah. If it happens again, I would try a different input, a different HDMI input. I was reading that a lot of the issues with the LG C2 stemmed from the HDMI, the ARC port. ARC port. Once it was moved away, it seemed to resolve the issue for other people. But try the reverse next time to see if that makes a difference. But only if there is a next time, lol. Yo, we're okay with band-aids. I mean, we take assist trophies. The issues, a lot of the, okay, come on now, you can't give me a lot, really. I'm not capitalizing HDMI. It's not happening. Oh, we know you would not be the first person with a band-aid, that's for sure. Yeah, if it happens again, I would try a different HDMI input. I was reading that a lot of the issues with the LGC2 stems from the ARC port. Once it's moved away, it seemed to resolve the issues for other people, but try the reverse next time to see if it makes a difference. But only if there is a next time, lol. There we go. All right, Aether Seraph, good lord. All right, well, Aether Seraph, Mr. Angel, go ahead and let us know if you have that issue again. Oh, he replied? Damn, he's fast. Yeah, Power Adapter is simpler and easier, but the only issue is Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty PS5, unfortunately. Well, do you play other games online? Try Overwatch. Oh, no, I think Overwatch you got to pay for, don't you? Overwatch 2, I think you got to pay for. Try Destiny 2, Destiny 2, or any free shooter to see if it makes a to see if they have connectivity issues as well. More than likely, it will traverse across video game multiplayer, video game online multiplayers, video game online multiplayers. Now, some games like Neo, okay? I was gonna say God of War, but then God of War doesn't actually have an online feature. There's like nothing that you can do with God of War that's online, I don't think. But Neo does. So like Neo 2, it has a PvP element, and for that you actually have to go online. But you can actually play the whole game without having to go to the PvP element. But you know, for games like Neo or something like that, they may actually be okay because you're not using network connectivity or network the way you are with Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare, you are connected to a server and you're trying to hook up. But Neo, you can play that whole darn game and not even have to do PvP, not even once. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing with Dark Souls or any Souls-like game. So that's why I would say that. It depends on what games he was playing. So, you know, if he was saying he was playing Destiny 2, well, Destiny 2, you're already connected to a server, so that's a little different. So I think the game is going to have a big determining factor, but it doesn't change the fact that you should still go with a Ethernet or power adapter for this situation. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, my little weather station got some severe weather here in Texas, and I got some new weather software. Yes, I'm very well aware of the weather issues in Texas, sir. Why do you have to make me remember such a horrible event where I lost all of my entire stream prior to me starting my stream right before the storm hit, and then the storm hit, and then I lost everything. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the memory. I appreciate it. I do like his storm tracker stuff. That's actually pretty sweet. Um, are you the type that chase tornadoes? Are you the type that chases tornadoes? Because I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you, that's a bad idea. Wow, Dia. Wow, that's terrible. Also, spelling is a bad idea. Apparently, I was just trying to be goofy, but yeah, chasing tornadoes actually, from what I've seen, is like very exhilarating. But yeah, don't. But the weather thing, generally, people who look at weather like this high end are generally people who also chase tornadoes. So that's the reason why he said that, especially with his gear. His gear looks like he chases tornadoes. Alrighty, group 5. Let's do it. Last group. Alrighty. Xbox One received no power. Oh yeah, this is the guy who doesn't who isn't who is who's not necessarily adept at fixing motherboards. There we go. There you go. Good job, Anthony. So RMA, which is what I said earlier, and then he said, "How would I know if it's the proper voltage at certain places? What does RMA mean?" And so we talked about it. Return it to the manufacturer. You would I didn't know exactly what RMA meant. I couldn't remember the words, and I didn't feel like googling it, so it was whatever. You would have to look online, but I don't know if it's possible for you to fix it. It just looks like a dead board. Yeah, I purposely bought a bad Xbox on eBay because I like fixing things. Thanks for the help, though. Yeah, sure, no, bro, no problem. No problem, bro. Hope you get it fixed. No problem, bro. Hope you get it fixed. I mean, if you want to sit there and turn that into a project, I'm down. I'm always like that. Most guys are like that. Most guys are into tinkering with stuff. So, but at the same time, if you're asking questions about electricity or RMAs and you're not exactly sure what they mean, I'm just saying that your road is an uphill battle. You got a ways to go. That'd be like a person who's never worked in networking asking about BGP. It's like, okay, man, you got a long way to go before you can actually start talking about the conversation of BGP. You have to understand what a network is. You have to understand what a firewall is. You have to understand what a route is. Then you can understand what BGP and routing protocols are. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got a long way to go. So you can't just or just a person that is in biology 1 asking about how to fix a tibula. You see what I'm saying? Like you're so far removed from being at that level. You got to take it step by step by step by step, and instead of going to the conclusion, because I don't think anybody's going to be able to provide you the conclusion without knowing the voltages and testing and resoldering stuff like that. But if you want to tinker with it, hey man, all the more power to you. I mean, most people, that's how usually how people get good with things, is by tinkering. So hey, knock yourself out, bro. I just don't think anybody's going to be able to help you without actually looking at the board from an engineer's perspective. Alrighty. And let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Help. We love to help. That's like our favorite thing. We also like making fun of people asking silly questions, but helping is like the number one thing. So it's like up here, and then jokes is like right here. So there's a little bit of disparity there. We definitely like helping people. That's kind of what we do. Help, I'm down. PS5 freezes when trying to play online games. Got it. So whenever I try to play a game that I digitally own, the PS5 freezes. Interesting. I can't even turn off unless I manually shut it down. I've checked my internet connection, which is okay. Even went into the safe mode and updated the software, cleared the cache, basically everything except wipe the PS5. It's weird because if I restart it, I can play games. If I restart it, if I have the disc or use streaming services, just won't allow me to play digital copies of the games. Any suggestions? Streaming services? Restarted. I can play games if I have the disc or use streaming services. So services like Hulu and Netflix work just fine. It's a PS5? Okay. Work just fine. It sounds like the hard drive may be corrupted, but the memory is intact, which is why the CD based games work just fine. CD loads into memory, so any game that you play, it loads into memory. It's GPU memory and CPU memory. Why the CD based games work just fine. So I would suggest, oh, wow, Anthony, I would suggest to go ahead with the wipe of the PS5 to see if it makes a difference. So yeah, I would go with that. You know what I mean? So on the wow, I can't spell. On the PS5 there, if it decides to wake up. Oh, I actually turned it off. My bad. I totally turned it off. Okay, what happened? Why is it blue? What does blue mean? Do I now have an issue? Oh, there it is. It's turning white now. Okay. It's waking up. Controller, are you okay? No? Okay. Apparently doesn't want to show. Really? Really? This is the first time I've ever had an issue with the PS5. Why are you blue? Let's start with that. Okay, now you're white. and you still don't have a picture. But the okay, the Xbox went to sleep. Why does my PS5 hate me? I'm not gonna be here very long. I'm just trying to see if we can get this going. Doesn't seem like it wants to go. On top of that, the fact that it's not even showing a screen is worrying me a little bit. So, okay, no PS5, but we're almost done anyway, so whatever. Okay, that looks good. So my controller is lit up, so I mean that's positive. Yeah, I can't see that. There we go. But blue is kind of weird. It's like it's turned off, but usually it should be white. Okay, now it's showing, but not showing a picture, so I'm not gonna worry about it. You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and no go. Okay, well that's the first time that's happened. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Only the Xbox came to play for Friday, so that's fine. But on the PS5, what I was trying to get at is that if you have a problem and you only have an issue with digitally downloaded games that are basically downloaded to the hard drive, but everything that you download on the CD is fine, then it typically means that you might have a hard drive problem. What's interesting though is that you don't have any problems with any of the streaming services. Well, the streaming services tend to use the graphics memory, and they're not necessarily reading off of a hard drive per se. It's just loading that application into memory. So yeah, it sounds like your drive may just straight up be corrupted, which is in that case, I would just go ahead and try to wipe the drive to see if it makes a difference in your particular case. Okay, to go ahead and with the wipe and do that. All right. PS5, man, I'm so disappointed. PS5 has had 100% accuracy. It has never not worked. This is the first time where it didn't work. I'm guessing it's installing an update or it hates me. I'm not sure. Okay, dream build. Thanks to my girlfriend. That's a nice girlfriend, bro. Congratulations. It's also a nice build too. X670E, Crosshair Hero. Actually, I just bought a X670E, the Aorus Master. There's a reason for it. The X670E Aorus Master. I should let everybody know that in case other people have issues. Now, it's extremely expensive, but there's a reason why. So I just need the picture, bro. I just need to see it. Yeah. Just give me the picture. All right, yeah. You see that? Okay, so the reason why why I like this board is because typically with your GPU, if you have a 40 series graphics card, okay, this one right here was always NVMe on every single board. The second slot is going to be your graphics card. The thing about this guy is that this guy is usually 3.5 slots. So if it's 3.5 slots on a 40 series card, it can be a problem. So a lot of these boards, they have extra PCIe lanes that are available for you to slot devices in. But the problem is the graphics card typically covers all of them. This is the only one where slots 6 and 7 are available. So if this is in slot 2 and it uses 3.5, that means that's going to be 3, 4, 5.5, right? So it's going to be kind of pushed up against this guy here, but there's going to be a little bit of room for this guy and this guy. So basically I can create a bunch of capture cards and put them in here. That's the reason why I have them. But if you look at a lot of these boards, they don't have a lot of these slots available. So for if you're trying to do like a stream, or you're trying to do something and you feel like you may need a capture card in the future, I would recommend going with boards that allow you to have an extra slot down here at the bottom. You don't necessarily need to have two unless you're trying to do what I'm doing, but most people don't need two. They just need one. So basically you want it to basically have a slot on the 7th slot. That way, if you decide to go with a 40 series card in the future, you'll be prepared. So if for anybody that's looking to upgrade their ATX boards, I would definitely recommend going with a board that either has a PCIe X8 or something longer at the 7th slot so that you can use it in the event that you buy a bigger board or a bigger card. So yeah, the 40 series cards, they just don't play. That 3.5 slots is a pain in the butt. That 1, 2, 3.5, it's a problem. So yeah, that's why I say that. So congrats to him. These crosshairs, some of them can, some of them can't. That's the reason why, because I saw that 4090 trio, and then I saw that board, and I know that this board, the one that we just looked at here, this board allows that to happen. But some of them boards, some of the other ones don't allow that to happen. So it becomes kind of a pain, especially when you want to hook up multiple devices. But I don't think he does. I think his situation is he just wants to get this set up with just this build right here. He doesn't have need for other peripherals. And of course, you can also use things like cam links and stuff too. Dope build, bro. You have to call her mommy now. Dope build, bro. Congrats. I had a friend that bought her brother a RTX 3090 back when 3090 first came out. I was so jealous. I was like, man, I've never got a relative to buy me anything. They have bought me debt. That's about it. But no, I'm joking. I've never had them buy me something that's that expensive. You gotta understand, when that card came out, it was like what, $800-900. It was a very expensive card. I think it was almost $1,000, and she just spent that on her brother. I was like, wow, that is a very loving sister. So shout out to him, because that was one of the dopest gifts I've ever seen someone give someone, especially somebody that's techie. Giving them a 3090, like, that is like, I've never seen it. So I'm sure there are unicorns. I've just never seen somebody give somebody a 3090. I've just heard of it. So to her brother who got the 3090, congratulations, sir. You are a rare case indeed. So yeah, just congrats. I'm just so happy for people getting getting all that gear and doesn't have to pay for any of it. I'm sure he'll probably have to pay later on, but yeah, it's still pretty sweet. So congrats to you. Alrighty, would they call it the Apple GPU, the iGPU, or a insert letter here one? Apple, if they made a gaming Mac with a proper GPU, Intel, Nvidia, and AMD. Yo, that is 100% accurate. The way they came out with that M1 processor, it made every laptop company go, oh, where did this come from? I thought you were with Intel. It was like, man, forget Intel. We're making our own processors now. Bet that. So congrats to Apple. But if Apple ever made a GPU, good God Almighty, I would so buy that. One, it would be hot and it would be loud. But two, if they ever figured it out and perfect it, oh my goodness, it'll make Razer cry, because Razer really is the one that fills that void between Mac and gaming PC. A Razer Blade is essentially the Mac for Windows. So if Windows actually comes in and takes that market, they really don't like Razer. If that was the case, they really, really don't like Razer if that's the case. When Apple decides it doesn't like Razer anymore as a company, this will become a reality. LOL. Yeah, that Blade, man, that Blade is essentially the MacBook of Windows. Alrighty, last issue here, and then we'll have a good weekend. This is from Anime. Oh my God. You almost caught me. Okay. Why is my GTA doing this? My Wi-Fi is working completely fine. I restarted my PS5 and I have a PlayStation Plus. No connection. Internet connection is required to play all Grand Theft Auto online games. Well, it sounds like you lost network connectivity, sir. My Wi-Fi is working completely fine. I restarted the PS5 and I have PlayStation Plus. Okay. Well, what happens if you plug your PS5 directly into the router? Does that resolve the issue? Let us know. We will be back on Monday. And we can't go further than that, because whether it does or it doesn't goes in two totally different directions. If it does work, then we're troubleshooting an issue with Wi-Fi connectivity. If it doesn't work and he still has a problem, we're troubleshooting the router, right? Or network connectivity of some form. So, but at the same time, it sounds like it would work if he hooked up directly, because Wi-Fi seems to be working in his household. But we'll know more once we get more information. So we'll just go with that and just kind of leave it lighthearted and see what he says, and then kind of go from there. What is this, by the way? Our PlayStation achievements: prolific commentator, avid voter. View your achievements. Choose the achievement you like to highlight. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, okay. Well, all right, whatever. I'll take it. I'm not even sure how that got there, but okay, whatever. Alrighty, you guys, that's gonna be it for today. I am so sorry about yesterday. Hopefully, we'll be good to go moving forward. I'll buy a UPS so that doesn't happen again, and we don't just get completely taken off by storms and everything. But I won't be in Texas for much longer, so hoping to move here pretty soon. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like it, go ahead and subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best. And bye. I will see you on Monday.